All right, welcome to another episode of Jeeb's Garage. Today I am going to be working on my new Outback Wilderness. And there's one thing that I've noticed, a lot of people have noticed and know that it's missing, and that's a trailer hitch. So I bought all the stuff. It comes in a kit. There's actually a template that I get to cut out, and I measured to make sure that those are actually 1 inch square, because this all matters, because this template gets taped onto the bumper, and I actually have to cut the bumper out where the trailer hitch is going to go, and then you get to put this cool trim piece on. I'm kind of looking forward to this project, kind of not, because it's kind of a lot of stuff, but you know, something fun to do. I have all the tools according to the instructions, and now I get to do stuff like take off all of this crap. So, time to have some fun. I got the arts and crafts out of the way first. I got my Pinterest account all configured and approved. All right, first step of the actual process says to remove tail lights on both sides. Shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, that was easy enough, removing the tail lights and the covers. According to the instructions, I gotta pull some of the bumper clips off now, so we'll see how that goes. That's my least favorite stuff to do. All right, there were a few little pop rivets and screws here. Guessing that's part of it. Now on to the next step. Also was not too difficult. Popping these little pop rivets off. Okay, one of my less enjoyable parts is unclipping all this on each side and disconnecting stuff that's in the way. We'll see. Okay. I did find 2 clips that were hidden. There was one here and there was one under here, but I mean, they're easy enough to find once you start peeling on the bumper cover and you notice that there's some tension. Didn't see those in the instructions, but hey, nobody's perfect. All right, well, here's the beginning of permanence. According to the instructions, I tape this to the inside, which I did, and it looks like it lines up well with these cutouts here. Definitely want to measure twice, cut once here, since you only have one bumper. In my mind, I would say the tighter this is, the better, because then you're going to trim the least amount, and then there's a fascia that goes over it. And if for some weird reason you didn't cut quite enough, you could always extra cut. But if you go the other direction, obviously you are hosed. So don't screw up. Okay, well, I use black marker, which is easy enough for me to see on this. Some people might want to use a lighter color. And I'm going to put something underneath it and cut it. There is a hole in my bumper. Should be good. Now it says I need to clean stuff, bend stuff, glue stuff. Okay, this next step involved at least partially reinstalling the bumper, which I couldn't really figure out why, but then I realized it's going to help get this piece on nice and flush. One thing I noticed that I'm going to do differently from the instructions is it has you slipping it on and then drilling the holes and then undoing the tape. I'm going to slip it on and just put the tape on. I could already tell that the tape was inadequate, so I put some additional Gorilla Tape in some pieces. I'm still going to drill the holes and rivet those in, but ultimately I just don't see why this won't be a better choice. I could be wrong. You do need to slip this little slider in to there. Anyway. Okay, so my method appeared to work. And it mounted pretty nicely. Now I need to actually install the hitch. Okay, now that we have the fascia all taken care of on the bumper, we actually have to install the hitch. And it looks, I couldn't find any direct instructions, but I do need to remove this bumper beam, which doesn't look too difficult, so I'll do that. All right, crash bar removed. The only nut that was a pain was this guy here, and it's just because it was needed a deep socket, and it was kind of in a weird location. So keep that in mind. I had enough extra little tools around to get that taken care of. Well, the fun never stops. I have to drop the mufflers on both sides to get to the heat shields, which have to be removed. So, yeah. What's that, like that Bozuzuki style or something? I don't know. I'm not super JDM. Anyway, I just removed it from one of the hangers and let the other one just dangle. That way I can just remove the heat shields. If I gotta pull this, I'll pull this. Okay, this is where these guys go into these areas where the openings are. I got one partially in. You can see the one that goes on the driver's side is the one with this mount. It took me a bit to figure that out. And you can see underneath where it goes in. And I'm just loosely doing this until I get everything on both sides completed. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, now that these are both loosely on, I'm going to install the hitch. Okay, now that this is on there and snug, it is time to torque to 77 pound-feet, each one of those and those. All right, the hitch is torqued. I need to remove this antenna sensor that plugs in here and swap it onto here. Should be pretty. Yeah, it's just a clip in there, got to pop it out. Time to reinstall the heat shields. Should be as easy as it was to take them off. 10 millimeter or a large screwdriver. Okay, heat shields back on. There are gaskets on the exhaust that the kit actually comes with. You just got to figure out which ones you need, because there's 2 of one and 1 of a different one. I think this is for the 2.5 liter, so we don't need that. And these should really only be used once. I mean, you could probably reuse it and have no issues, but since it came with it, might as well. Now we are on electrical. And the first thing we do is we grab this one little clippy mount, whatever you want to call it, and it clips around this. And then we're going to put the wire through here, and we remove this plastic or this cover, and this should go there. Okay, now with this mounted, we are going to secure this with the included zip ties. Should be easy. Okay, here's where this came in. Now it's plugging into the harness, and this needs to plug into something, and I'm told it is underneath here. So I'm going to pop these guys off and see. Just kidding. It wasn't under here. It was behind here, and it was taped. So that'll plug in. Okay, so I'm putting the full-size spare back in and then mounting this so I know that there's clearance, and then I'm going to take the spare back out and zip tie everything out of the way. All right. Successfully got that in there. I got my other junk also crammed in there, emergency stuff. Time to put the cover back on, and then the bumper. We're done. Look at that. Cover's on. Just time to get the tail lights back in. All right. All set. Everything went back together. The hitch is in the right place. The plug's there. Honestly, looks pretty OEM, which it is, so I suppose that's good. And there it is.